Hello. Happy birthday, Bleed. Um, cheers, or whatever you say in British place, the British place, whatever it's called. Um, my allergies are bad today, so I hope you enjoy the sound of zero nostril action because that's what's currently happening right now. Um, but yeah, let's listen to music, and who knows, maybe some of these mixes will also be nasally, and I'll be able to relate emotionally. Cool. Anyway, blah 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 blah. Here we go. Bleed isn't here. That's okay. Somebody tell him that I said happy birthday or Merry Christmas or whatever. All right, let's have a listen. Oh, my mixer is in the way. Look at that. Let's just move that and let's make sure I'm not doing any dirty mastering by accident. Looks good to me. Okay, first up, we got Aiden Dodge, Little Robin Hood Breezy. Little Robin Hood Breezy. Damn. Loyal, this is his track. I'm just a featured artist. All right. Let's have a listen.
Tried hard to find, but the trust it in line. You're not far behind. Does she right? Where is the loyalty?
Okay, so I mean, it sounds good, but I don't understand. I can't hear the vocals. I don't know. Are these your vocals or his vocals? I'm not sure. But I would say this goes fire on mute. I would say the vocals definitely need to come up, and the tuning needs to be tuned before it goes into auto tune. Because auto-tune is kind of being quite indecisive with a lot of the notes that it thinks you're trying to hit, or I guess he's trying to hit at this point. I think the auto-tune, it's not too much. It's just sometimes you have to give it a little, throw it a bone, you know, like you could tune it a little bit before it hits auto-tune, and then you're just mostly using auto-tune for the auto-tune effect, not because some of these notes, it's just like it doesn't know what you're trying to hit. Do I hear a mouse click? Is that him hitting the record stop? Because he should go and clean that stuff out too, if that is what that is. It's funny because it's kind of on beat, so I can't really tell if it's supposed to be there or not. But yeah, I think overall vocals so far need to come up a lot in the mix, and they need to be tuned before they hit auto-tune, at least enough so that auto-tune knows what to do. Oh my god, the auto-tune was set to the wrong key when he sent it to me, so I had to use AI to separate his voice. Don't send that shit in, because now I'm going to be giving you feedback that's probably going to be relating to the fact that you had to do a bunch of dirty shit to get like the vocals out, you know? You know what I mean? Like, I would rather you wait till next week and do it properly, and then we can actually give you good feedback, because otherwise I could be like, oh, there's a weird noise in the, you know, in the 5 kilohertz, but it's just like the AI doing weird shit. I'm hearing some maybe wrong notes.
Did you really think you could come running back to me? My life is better off without you there distracting me. Feels like it's been a decade since you've tried contacting me. And I'm not gonna get back with you just so you can keep laughing at me. Yeah.
Same thing here. The vocals are still pretty buried. I think, generally speaking, your vocals could be compressed a lot more in most of these tracks.
Rough without you, they're distracting me. Feels like it's been a decade since you've tried contacting me. And I'm not gonna get back with you just so you can keep laughing at me. Running back to me. Where is the loyalty?
The instrumental is cool, but I don't know if this is like an instrumental or if it's something that was downloaded. I don't know. Did you make the beat? Should I even be giving feedback on the beat? Right now, my feedback is tune the vocals properly before they go into auto-tune. All the vocals have to come up in general. Compress your vocals, especially yours, so that you're able to place it in the mix easier. And my last piece of advice is for my nose, and it's to fuck off.
Where is the loyalty? Prove you're worthy. 'Cause you've done enough to prove that you don't deserve me.
Like, here's the thing. That's the solid melody. It's a great melody. It's just,
'Cause you've done enough to prove.
I think the melody is good. I think your melody is good. I think that his melody was a little all over the place. But again, I don't know if that's just like the AI that has fucked with shit. But yeah, the takeaways are, I think, don't use AI to separate vocals. If you need to separate vocals, then get him to separate them for you. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I do, like, you have a solid grasp on music theory and your melodies are good and whatnot. But I just think you're getting better. Your vocals are sounding better, but now you have to continue to go down that path. And I think the next thing is learning how to get the compression right on the vocals, because that's going to make it a hell of a lot easier to choose how loud to place them in the mix, because it's a moving target. If there's a bunch of dynamics, you might turn it up so that it's loud enough in one spot, but then another spot where you pushed a little harder in your vocal range, it might be way too loud, and that's where a compressor would come in. Yeah. Anyway, I hope that helps. I think it's a smooth track. It sounds cool, but obviously you gotta fix his vocals the proper way and not the AI rippy way. All right, let's move on. Next up, we got Bingo FX 2. Bingo FX 2. This sounds like a Super Nintendo game or something. Oh, hold on a sec. I appreciate this being one of the last ones, so I get time to sleep in. Oh, okay. I'm going to push this towards the back. Oh my God, I hate allergies. We're going to push that one towards the back because I just noticed that whoever submitted it requested that. So anyway, okay. Actually, we're going to listen to Cat Attack instead. I don't think we got a Cat Attack song last week, so this is a nice treat. Here we go. That's pretty much what I think. I think it's a sick track. You know what I think you should do? I think somebody just followed me on Twitch. Thank you, Austin the Autistic. But I'm going to close my mail so that the sound doesn't happen again. I think you should either learn how to do obscure visuals or team up with somebody who acoustic? Did I actually read that wrong? Whoops. Anyway, I think you should either learn how to do obscure visuals or team up with somebody who does, because like this stuff is so good, and if it had some sort of visual, and I mean, I'm happy to work with you at a steep percentage, but project, this stuff just begs to have a visual element to it, like I enjoy listening to this, and I can kind of like picture stuff in my head, but imagine if you had like a project where there was, even if it was like somehow procedurally generated or something, it would be really good. But I don't have any feedback because it sounds dope. I don't think I could help improve this in any way except to encourage you to maybe go down the path of the visuals, because I think that would be like a full Winamp, the Winamp visualizer from like 2005. Anyway, that's what I think, dude. Thank you for sending. Very cool. Let's check out Sawyer. Oh my God. What is this? What the fuck is this? All right. Anyway, let's have a listen.
What you want when you hear with me? Watch it to my bed, come some way, I'll make your brain stop. I'm going big, if you can't come, that's fine, I'll make it drop. I'm going in, face so loud, till my skin drink, and then repeat. Do what you want when you hear with me. Do what you want when you hear with me. Do what you want when you hear with me. Watch me do my. Come somebody, I'll make it bang. Do what you want when you hear with me. What you want when you hear with me? Do what you want when you hear with me. And somebody I'll make it dance. And somebody I'll make it dance. And somebody I'll make it dance.
Dude, that fill is sick. It's my only real question is why have you spared us this? Like, what's it sound like if this? Oh fuck! Oh, I almost just destroyed my entire life. Oh, it's so touchy. Go down. It just stops being loud. Well, I guess I have a limiter. No, I don't actually have a limit. No, it's off. Anyway, I don't know why. I don't know why you chose to turn. I mean, you've kind of done a good job at like when you listen to it. This, because of how full the spectrum is, kind of sounds as loud as this. Yeah, audibly it's the same. Yeah. But should it be the same? That's my question. Or should the drop be like, whoa, even louder? You know, I don't know. I don't know the style of music. I feel bad because I'm not like equipped to give good feedback when it comes to styles of music that I'm just not aware of.
Do what you want when you hear me.
Maybe this is a common technique in this style of music that I'm unaware of, you know? But to me, if you're gonna fuck our ears, you might as well like fuck our ears, you know? Like don't go gentle. I feel like this style of music is just like balls to the wall, right? I don't know. It's a wacky track, and it was enjoyable. And that's pretty much what I have to say about it. Thank you. All right, Swiss cheese, the absolute opposite in terms of dynamics. We'll just do this. Free real estate. Reverse the track. Dude, this, I don't know if anybody on here is familiar with 3D printing, but this looks like the pattern that's generated when you print support structures. What am I doing wrong here? Why is this not... How have I broken... The effects are on, ozone is on, and the mix knob is all the way up. What is happening? Why is this... Mic icon on insert. No, like, check it out. I don't understand. No, that's to turn it on and off. I don't have the inputs on. How have I... Do I have... Okay, it's on. The mix knob is up. What am I, some sort of noob? It's like glitched out. Whatever, I'll just delete it and add another one. One sec. Ozone 9. Let's see if this works. And if it doesn't work... It was just glitched out. Okay. I feel better, though, knowing that I didn't actually mess something up. I mean, I think my favorite part of this is that there was no halftime section, which I think is a big step forward. I think I do agree with some of the people in the chat. I think that the sax is sick, but it took way too long to come in. You know, like we're like a minute and a half before we get like the theme. But also I'm trying to word this in a way that's useful to you. I find that this track, along with the other tracks you submitted, are very strong or not melodically, but musically, chord progression, vibe, and everything. But I think it's all too safe or something. So there's something that's just too safe about these tracks, and it's not necessarily a bad thing for where you're at in your journey. But at some point, I feel like you're gonna have to nail down some sort of brand or some sort of sound. You know, we can tell it's you because of the length of the track and the chords are really nice. But I would encourage you to experiment with something that's a little outside of the safety, the comfort zone that you're comfortable with in terms of like chord progression and building the arrangement up, adding percussion, the way that your tracks go. They sound good, but they don't have that like, oh, that's a thing that he always does, or like that's, like for example, you could almost say on the opposite end of the spectrum is amps, where everything you hear that amps sends in, you're like immediately, even if it wasn't titled as amps, you would be like, that's an amp song because of like the sound of it, right? I think that amps is maybe a little too far in that direction, where it's almost like too specifically amps, and it always feels a little too specific in that sound, as opposed to this, where this just kind of is all very safe and nothing is too daring in terms of the way it sounds or what you do. Even when it comes to the arrangement, you wait, you build up the melodic elements, you build it up, and then here's the melody. You start off with like a kick pattern and a low pass thing, like it's all very safe, and it almost feels kind of timid in a sense. So that, I think that's my main feedback, and it's not specific to this track. It's something that I think it's taken a while for me to word it in my mind to tell you. But I think that you've come a very long way in terms of your production skills, and in no way am I trying to be discouraging. I just think that I think you should keep going, and you should take some chances, and not by putting a halftime breakdown, because that doesn't really make sense to me, but experiment and find some things that you really like fuck around with some weird sounds, and maybe discover something that you're like, this is sick, and I don't hear it very often, and then maybe latch onto that a little bit. But that's pretty much it. I mean, everything else, obviously, it needs like mastering and stuff, because it's very quiet, and this is another area that you could work on is getting your master up a little bit louder. But in terms of musicality and everything, it's solid. It just, the arrangement's a little drawn out. It's very background music-y. I think somebody else said that. And I think the reason why it sounds background music-y is because it doesn't have that bold statement. Like it's like somebody wearing it's like, so for example, and I'm not a fashion person, right? I'm wearing a black shirt. I'm wearing jeans. But I got a fucking crazy watch, like that's a black shirt and a jeans. That's like, whatever. That's just kind of your common, it's a recipe that works. But then the watch is like, oh, that's the watch, like that's if right now you got the classic jeans and black shirt, but you need the watch. And I hope that makes sense. Okay, moving on. Next up, we got Singularity, Amethyst. I think that made more sense than I thought it was going to. This kind of reminds me melodically like the Magic School Bus song that plays at the end when they're taking the phone calls at the end of the episode. I don't know if maybe anybody is old enough to get that reference, but I would say for this track, my suggestion to you would be to go and turn off all of the reverb and see what it sounds like. I think the reverb it just kind of feels like, it almost sounds to me like I'm listening to this song, but you're playing it on a PA system in a gymnasium or something. Like it's just so reverby. I like it. It almost kind of reminds me a little bit of Boards of Canada too. Like I like the vibe of it, and melodically and chord progression, all that stuff is good, but it just sounds like it's just so soaked in reverb that I can't. It never sounds like it's right here. It feels like it's over there somewhere, like the whole song. So I think it would be an interesting experiment for you to just turn off all 100, don't turn it down, disable every single reverb in the track, get it to sound, as good as you can, and then bring the reverb in to taste. I think it's just that's the biggest thing right now, is that this is it's like a laid back, like chill track. And I get the idea behind the reverb, but I think it's just too much. I think it's just too much reverb. Or put more reverb on it. I don't know. It sounds cool that way too, but then it's just kind of like a ambient track. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I think it's just a little too soaked in reverb, and that's causing everything to just feel far away and not super powerful. And it's not supposed to be super powerful. I get that. But anyway, I think it's an interesting experiment for you to try. Turn off all the reverb, get it to sound as good as you can, and then slowly bring the reverb in. And really be careful when you add it to your drums or your drum, especially your drum bus. Adding reverb to your drum bus rarely goes well unless you're trying for like a mid-90s R&B sound and you've got like I don't know, an Akai drum machine or something. Anyway, that's what I think. Thanks for sending. Let's have a listen. Let's make sure the reverb is off. That's a good idea. All right, we got 7 on the dance floor. Or sorry, not 7. It's S3 Ven. Here we go. What's the name of the song again? leave them wanting more, right? Is that the theme of this song? It's like a 33-second. Anyway, I know it's a whip. Curious, you can kind of see this weird DC offset thing going, and I don't necessarily. I'm not saying it's an issue, but like check this out. If we follow this kind of peak and then see how it's like shifting down, but like down here, you know what I mean? Like why? That's interesting. I don't know why, and I don't know. Trash 2. Ah, yeah. You've got some asymmetric distortion. That'll do it every time. And if you just add a high pass at like 10 hertz, it'll get rid of that, because you can't hear it, but it could be fucking with your master limiter. You know, you might get some asymmetric limiting because of this. So if you just throw a high pass at like 10, 20 hertz or something, that isn't going to change the sound of it. That'll just get rid of any of that weird DC offset caused by, it's basically what it is the, oh God. So like normally, you know, you have your, how do I do this now? It's caused by this. Normally your distortion would be like, this is the positive, this is the negative. But if your distortion kind of goes like this and then like does something weird differently in the opposite polarity, then that's going to shift it. In the extreme case, you could have like this in the positive direction and then this in the negative direction. So now you've cut off, you no longer have this whole amount on the top, but you are allowing it to do the full range in the bottom. Anyway, high pass it, get rid of that. The track, it's a cool track. It's a cool start. I think it's pretty sub heavy. Like it doesn't. If we got rid of, let's get rid of the sub for a second, see what it sounds like. Like you can't really, I know that it's doing down, 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 down. It's doing like probably D sharp or something. I don't know. I'm probably wrong. Maybe it's F sharp. E sharp. Get it? E sharp, because I'm not smart when it comes to music. But I can't really tell with the sub in there. It just kind of sounds like bass, 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 bass. Like it just kind of, it doesn't have like the tonality. I can't tell which notes you're playing very easily, right? Yeah. Anyway, it's a cool start. It's a cool start, but I would try to high pass, and sometimes you don't even know this shit is happening until you render it out, which I'm sure is probably what just happened. But when you do any sort of asymmetrical distortion or anything that is asymmetrical, you should almost always put a high pass after it to bring the DC offset back to 0, right? And then make it a bit more tonal, and then go from there. Cool. Thanks for sending. Let's move on. We got Rayham, Heartstopper, Bare Bones Whip. It's insecure. Dude, this is like the Six Flags song. So this is cool so far. I think your use of the flanger, phaser, twisty twirly thing is a little bit much. It's kind of like it kind of draws a lot of attention to itself, if that makes sense. Like I feel like I'm listening to the effect, not the sound being affected by the effect. My ear is kind of drawn to just the fact that it's doing some weird phasey twirly thing. And it almost gives me like DJ who figured out the phaser button. Like I said, the production is shit on this. That's why I said insecure before I pressed play, because it says bare bones whip. Yeah. But I like the musical element of it is sick. I like that sour note too. It caught me off guard the first time, but not in a bad way, just kind of in a, oh, that's where we went, you know. The clap is kind of not good. It's not good. It's just not. It's not bad. It's just not good. You know, which is what I said the first place. So yeah. Anyway, the clap's not bad. It's not good. Oh. I don't know why I find that so funny, but just the effects. So like the idea is solid. The musical idea is solid. I like the vibe of it. I like the boom 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 boom. I like that. I like the musicality of it. I think that you're right. The production is just, it's bare bones. I think your use of flanger or phaser, whatever. I mean, a phaser is a flanger and a flanger is a phaser. But anyway, this, when you play it on that guitar, it kind of just sounds like a Nexus preset to me. It doesn't necessarily sound authentic. So I'm willing to bet this isn't somebody recording a guitar. Maybe at some point it was, but I don't think that this was like it's a straight up sample. Okay. Well, the idea is cool. I think what you need to do now is go and obviously spice it up, you know, spice up your life or whatever. I really do like this sound though when it comes in, but I just don't like the phaser on it. It's just like it's too phasery. But wait, there's more. Yeah, I think it's cool, dude. I think you should obviously keep going on it. Just chill out on the phaser, and I think now this is like the demo, but now you need to make it like authentic, you know? And one of the things I like the most about this is that there was no Rayhem fake out, which I was really kind of surprised by. Like, even the strings have phaser. Hey, did you put phaser on everything? Every single melodic element in this has a phaser on it. Are you taking the piss? Isn't that a thing that people say in the British land? Anyway, those are my thoughts. Thank you for sending. Let's move on. Oh, this is an interesting. This looks a lot like a knock recording. Look at all those little events. Okay, we're going to check out Oxidized Rough Seas.
Like freaking, I don't know, like Subnautica that freaking like buries you. I feel like that's something that like happens like in real life, not like in kind of like a metaphorical sense, you know? not with like an actual fucking hydrothermal vent, but like, you know, or it's like actually like a thing. You get too burns you end up realizing you get sharply like impaled or maybe by like some kind of ice. That sounds fucking way too damn. But like, kind of just like exploring yourself while staying. How do you explore yourself while staying true to yourself? I understand like exploring your like feelings and shit. Think you want to be, but you feel like you have to because you now need to uphold this standard for other people. And you just get trapped in like an endless cycle of doing shit for choices you don't want to do for other people. And it like is the worst thing ever. Nothing good can happen from that. And the only way you can experience that is what like whatever people say is people that do that. And not a lot of people have been through that, but when you go through that, it is
Wow. Wow. That was neat. I would classify that as neat. The dialogue, sorry, I keep hitting the mic. The dialogue reminds me of A Waking Life, which is a cool movie that you should all watch. I don't have any feedback besides that was cool and unique and experimental. And I don't remember who said it reminded them of Annihilation, but that was actually like a really good reference. It did sound very much like what that movie felt like. I wish that I could understand what the dialogue, and this isn't feedback. I'm not saying you should make the dialogue more intelligible, but it makes me want to listen again and try to figure out what the words are, you know? So maybe that's a cool thing. Maybe that's some sort of like manipulative marketing technique or something, you know? Invoke the, so sure that would be so genius. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's cool. I like it. That's all I really have to say about it. I don't have any sort of advice except to keep doing what you're doing because it's interesting. All right, let's check out Multi-Fox Distraction. Multi-Fox is in his chiptune banger era. So this is really good. Honestly, this is big strides by Multifox from even just 6 months ago. This is unreal progress in terms of mix and production and musicality. I mean, the improvement that this person has made is really admirable. I think that this track, besides just maybe being pushed a little too hard, I think, or maybe just a little loud in the sub range, it's just there's nothing screaming at me. Okay, so let's go. I'm just curious to see. This is from February. The sub bass got pushed down. Aha. Yeah, I think overall it's sounding better. I almost would say wrap it up and move on because I'm not hearing anything really large to change at this point. I'm just interested to see if was this the same song? Okay, that was something different. So yeah, like I think you made a good improvement from February to now. I don't hear any major problems. So I would just wrap it up and move on, dude. You're doing a great job. Keep going. Okay, next up we got Chord on Air. On Air. This is like you're applying for a job at the back rooms.
In Capital Region, in Ottawa. Well, it's not scientific. And I know, well, most welcome. It is most welcome. Welcome. Now, this morning they said the forecasted high for the... It's taking its sweet time getting here. It's 10 degrees now. But hey, like, bring it on. I'm saying, bring it on. It's not scientific. Bring it on. Sail away. But what I'm hearing, and the more I do this show, that's just pretty wildly crazy. In the capital region. What would you say?
You're gonna make Rayhem jealous of all your use of the phaser. I think this is another one that for this style of music, I don't know what you would possibly change to make it better, but I would like to listen. Is this? No, that's a different one. Yeah, I mean, like, it's a fucking wacky track. It's wacky and wonky and quirky and quarky, and I think it's cool. I don't have any suggestions on this one to make it any better, to be honest. It's weird, and I like it. And I think you've done a great job in taking it from the original idea. I think you've fleshed it out. I think, maybe it could use a bit more embellishment in terms of, I don't know, percussion. Like you have added more drums, and that's good, but maybe it could use a little bit more. I don't know. I think it's cool, though. Thank you for sending. Okay, what's up next? Cobra Alive World of the Year. Okay.
Slovom minulého roka je podľa oxfordského slovníka slovo rys.
Ak ho nepoznáte, buďte v čile. Nie je to váš fail. Nepoznáte, buďte v čile. Rys sa určite časom ocitne aj v nejakom bangri o láske. Napríklad keď čajočku varí týpek, ktorý má mrterec flex a ghostne ju. Ak vás pri takýchto vyhajpovaných slovách vypína a máte v hlave mes, čo vlastne znamenajú, zvykajte si. Zvykajte si.
Poľovnícka trúba.
Asi cringe.
Slangové ako hrot, alebo čajka, sokár, potkár a podobne.
Slovom minulého roka je podľa oxfordského slovníka slovo rys.
Ak ho nepoznáte, buďte v čile. Nie je to váš fail. Ak ho nepoznáte, buďte v čile. Rys sa určite časom ocitne aj v nejakom bangri o láske. Napríklad keď čajočku varí týpek, ktorý má mrterec flex a ghostne ju. Ak vás pri takýchto vyhajpovaných slovách vypína a máte v hlave mes, čo vlastne znamenajú, zvykajte si.
That is such a good. Oh my god. Oh shit, I touched the pitch knob. Oh no. Oh.
This song was made in Ableton.
This is sick. I'm gonna put this in every single one of my songs.
This song was made in Ableton. 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 This song was made in Ableton.
This song was made in Ableton. This song was made in Ableton.
This song was made in Ableton. This song was made in Ableton. This song was made in Ableton. This song in Ableton. This song was made in Ableton. This song. This song. This song. This song was. This song. This song was made in Ableton. This song was made in Ableton. This song was made in Ableton. This song was made. This song was made in Ableton. This song was made in Ableton. This song was made in Ableton. This song. This song was made in Ableton. 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 This song was made in Ableton.
Oh fuck.
This song was made in Ableton. This song was made in Ableton. This song was made in Ableton. This song was made in Ableton.
What am I doing with my life? Fuck, I shouldn't ask myself that.
This song was made in Ableton. 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 This song was made
All right, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Anyway, I have no words. I don't know how to give you feedback on this music. I wish I could. Oh god, the cheese has a motif now. That's funny. I honestly don't know how to give you feedback on this type of music. It's cool. It's interesting. I don't know how to tell you how to improve it, or if it even needs to be improved. Maybe it's just bang on the way it is. What about the tear out drop? I don't know what that means. So I am definitely one of the producers of all time. Anyway, it's cool, man. It's cool. It's you. It's unique. It's unlike anything else I've heard. And the first drop, well, it's all fucked up now. Hold on. Make sure I got this turned off. Okay. I mean, like, this is the thing. I don't know how to give advice on this music because I'm like, oh, it's not tone. Like, I don't know what notes are being played. It's like, that's not the idea of it. Like, oh, the snare doesn't punch through as much, but maybe that's the point. Kind of reminds me of Squid Games. The ha 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 ha, that thing. I don't know, dude. I honestly don't know how to did I have oh, I did too. I made that synth from Pink Noise. Yeah, I'm not familiar with this style of music enough to give you any meaningful thoughts other than it's cool. And maybe if you, and I'm not saying that you should, but if you create something that's in your style, but a little closer to what I'm experienced in, then I could give you better feedback. But with this, excuse me. Here we go. I got 1,000 sneezes to get out. Let's fuck. Let's move on. I'm sorry, dude. I don't know what to say. It's cool, it's unique, it's entertaining, and I don't know how else to better your life. But thank you for sending. And now we're going to listen to I Hope You're in the Mood for Glitch Hop, because this is the most amps tune of all time. Speaking of amps, let's have a listen. Okay, right here, I'd probably start bringing in some sort of like rhythmic, like shaker or snare thing or something. I feel like you've been teasing me. You've been teasing me for too long at this point. Okay, so right off the bat, don't edge us that long. Like, I get it, but it can be done. But in this execution, I felt annoyed that you didn't give me the drop. You know, it wasn't like, oh yeah, tease me and then give me the drop. I was like, I'm ready for the drop now, you know? So take that into consideration. And then the lead synth. Whoa, that thing, that should be like way up in the mix, because to me, that's like the main focus of the drop. I know you got all the cool sound design shit, but I think that like the melodic lead synth should be up quite a bit. Same here. Like, this is sick. But like, the lead synths are buried. They're really underneath everything, and I think they should be way up. Hi back. So yeah, I think my two main notes on this. It sounds sick. I think my two main notes are, I should say, the build up is too long and the leads are too buried. And I think you should fix that, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. I think that's the way that you should proceed with fixings. I'm not sure if I have really any other notes on it. It really, like, mix and master sounds pretty good besides the aforementioned. Why do they say aforementioned, not beforementioned? I don't get that, but anyway. Yeah, that's what I think. I think sorry, I'm just moving some audio files. Yeah, I think I think that those are that's what I can give you for advice, is what I already said. So thank you for sending. It's cool. Keep going. Let's move on. All right, we got Bingo Effects 2. Hopefully they are awake now. Let's have a listen. So this is sick. My only question is, would it ruin it if you layered a more punchier snare. Because I love the sound of the snare, but like, what if that just had the punch of a normal, not a normal, I shouldn't say normal snare, but like, let's just go to whatever and whatever. Like, we take this, right? And am I correct to assume this is this 140? The snare is fine. Nobody, you know what, Rayhem? This isn't the fucking Rayhem production feedback live stream, okay? So I think it's like 142. No. Wait, what the fuck tempo? It is 140. All right, let's see. I don't want to change the sound of the snare. Yeah, just like that, just like a little bit, you know? I think it's better with that layered. I don't care what Rayhem says. That's really my only thought, is that the snare just, I love the sound of the snare, but it just didn't tickle my, it didn't tap me. Let people enjoy things, you know? Anyway, that's the only thing I had to say about this track. It's a super cool, like, hippies in a forest, all kind of doing hippie stuff in a forest. That's what it sounds like to me, and it achieves that. And I just think if the snare could just have a little bit more of a snap to it, then I would be a little bit happier. And Rayhem would be a little sadder. So win-win. All right, moving on. Thank you for setting. Let's check out HHS Alive with Love Remix. I don't care about DMC stuff. I don't monetize this anyway. It's like every single time I do, every Friday around 8:30, I get I get an email that says, you cannot monetize this YouTube video. I'm like, I know, it's every week I can't monetize because somebody sends in a remix or something and whatever, who cares? Anyway. Yeah, this is sick. I really like this. I think that the vocals and the main like distorted synth line both exist in the center channel, and they both exist in this frequency range, and they're both like really they're a little harsh. So, thanks, Will. So I think the big takeaway here is to get into, especially I think it's mostly the vocals. I think the vocals are the main offender, and to scoop out some of that 3 to 5 kilohertz right around here, because they are really poking. They're poking through the mix. And then if you could get the drums to just hit a little bit harder, to cut through the mix a little bit better, I think it's fucking done. I think those are the 2 things you got to do. It's badass though. This is a badass track. I do wonder what that sub would sound like if you played during the drops. Instead of da, da, if it was da, da, and then up to the next. Anyway, I don't know. I would play around with that and see what it sounds like, but I think the more objective things are the harshness in the 3000 hertz range. I think you got to address that. And besides that, this is a sick track, dude. Good job. Good job. All right, let's move on. We got Boudrick's Academy demo track. Let's have a listen. Let's make sure that this is all off. Oopsies. This is a sick track, but it just sounds like moisturizing cream or something. It's so loud but also so quiet at the same time. I don't understand. Let's Yeah, well, first of all, if you look over on the spectrum analyzer and you look at that shape, that's if you put like what would be a good comparison? Like I'll play one of my tracks so that I don't take myself down with a DMCA, MCA, ECMA, MC squared. If I can remember where to even find my songs, it's been so long. Let's do actually. Is it this one? Human race. Oh, okay, let's try this. Let's try this one. This to me sounds like maybe it's the same vein. So if you compare A and B, you can hear like the top end of the track, just your track is super muffled. Now, obviously, these are not exactly the same style. That one came to mind, but yeah, I think it's mastering is alive by Big Eyes Toe. That's funny. I'm not suggesting you go in and boost up. Like what I did was I went in, I pulled some sub out, I pulled some low mids out, I added some high mids, I added some high end, and then I brought the limiter back down to try and boost up the overall volume. But at the end of the day, I think you just need more brightness in your track. The sub is overpowering, but it's not just the sub overpowering. The whole track kind of has this slope to it. And again, I need to make sure you guys know that this has been shifted positive 3 dB per octave. So if I put this back to if I put it to 0 dB per octave, so that's what that looks like at 0 dB per octave. I put it at +3 so that a flat line is actually negative 3 dB per octave. But yeah, I think this track is sick in terms of like sound design, composition. It really just is a matter of chilling that sub out and pushing the rest of the track up in brightness. And maybe take a look at what you're mixing on. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe the speakers or headphones. I'm trying to see who it was that actually made this one. Dubio. Okay, you are in the yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I think Ram has a good point. Using a reference track is a good idea because, like I said, when I threw this in here, all of a sudden you can really hear. You can hear all this like, whoa, that's like, there's a lot of high end, and maybe that would lead you to make some differences in your mix choices. Also, don't get discouraged when you A and B, especially against a finished track. Sometimes when I'm A-Bing, even still, I'll still turn the track down a bunch because I'm like, okay, this is a professionally mastered finished track that's like banging and sounds amazing. Like, come on. I got to give myself a little credit here. So I turn the volume down, but I still A-B it and listen for differences to last time you criticized about the drums. Yeah. Honestly, the sound of the drums doesn't sound wrong to me. It just really is a mix and master. I think you made some good changes in the sound of the drums. Oh shit. But I think now you gotta A-B against a track that you really like and that you think is in the same like realm as yours, and you gotta A-B and then make some choices based on that. But yeah, that's what I have to say about it, man. I think it really is a very cool track. It just needs some mix love. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Where are we at? Grim sample. Whoopsies. Okay, Grim sample flip. Let's have a listen. Fuck, I keep hitting the space bar.
I'm okay, don't wanna be a part of this. Bitch fella got me thinking like I'm done with it. Trashing all these indies, baby, I am done with this. Take care of my cat, I'm falling in a pit.
Take care of my cat?
Take care of my cat, I'm falling in a pit. Bitch is going lit, neck I'll take a hit. I feel like a brick, you know I will take my time to.
This is like fuckboy music. And I don't even mean that. I don't mean that in a bad way, but this just reminds me of like broccoli haircut fuckboy.
I feel like a brick, you know I will take my time to get to you. You know I can say the same thing for you.
I don't know what is the sample is I know who Bishu is. Anyway, I
feel like a brick, you know I will.
I don't know what the sample what is the sample flip? I don't know what has been made and what has been sampled here. I think the vocals.
I'm okay, don't wanna be a part of this. Bitch fella got me thinking like I'm done with.
I think the clap could come down and the vocals could come up, and also the vocals sound very sidechained or something. There's something that's getting in the way of like me trying to the vocal has been flipped. Vocal by Burke. Anyway, the vocal, there's something in the way of the vocal getting through. Like I can't really understand the vocal. They're not sitting in the mix quite right, and I think it might be like too much sidechaining.
Take care of my cat, I'm falling in a pit. Bitches going lit, neck I'll take a hit. I feel like a brick, you know.
But like the reason I say bring the clap down is every time the clap hits, I cannot hear the vocal.
You know I will take my time to get to you. You know I can say the same thing for you.
But it's a cool track. It's a cool fuckboy track. I would want the vocals to be more audible and maybe less sidechain. Sidechaining vocals can be tricky because sometimes it works really well. But I think there's already so many elements in this track that live in that same frequency space that are competing against the vocals that when you're pulling the vocal back with the side chaining, it's just making it so we can't hear, sorry, we can't hear the vocal even more. It's just like I don't know. I'm probably offending people by saying it's fuckboy shit. It just kind of like, you know, like the broccoli haircut, like I'm not like other guys. What's up, girl? You up right now? What you doing? You know, I don't know. Like a fuckboy. I don't know what fuckboy music is, but it's music that reminds me of a fuckboy, and that's what this is. All right, Grim. It sounds cool, though. I don't mean this in a bad way by any means. I think it sounds cool. I think you should just try to figure out how to get the vocals to sit better in the mix, because if we're going to have vocals, we should hear what they say. All right, moving on. No Hope, Black Swan, 80 beats per minute. Well, we might as well change this to 80 beats per minute then. Oh, God, I need an allergy pill. All right, let's have a listen. It's about the lyrics simultaneously flexing and simping for women. Yeah, but it's always like, like it's the way they sing it too, that it's kind of like, it's like, yeah, I'm really sad. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, how do you explain something that's just so intrinsic? I don't know. Anyway, anyway. All right. So anyway, moving on from the fuckboy to No Hope Black Swan. So the chords that come in. The chords that come in, they feel like they're too low in the register, but not. Oh God, I need to figure out a way of saying this because this is something I say quite a bit, not just on stream. Like if we play a chord, let's do a little experiment here. Let's pull up a sawtooth, whatever. Okay, menu init. Okay, so let's try this. So who cares about serum right now? I'm just gonna. It's just a sawtooth. I'm gonna pull this up, and let's play a chord. Let's do D. Oh, right. Pattern. Right? So let's put it down an octave. That's fine. Let's put it down another octave. That's okay. Let's put it down another octave. Ah, now we're starting to hear. And what we're hearing is these notes are kind of too close together in this low octave. So we put it up. Okay, that's better, but maybe now this is still a little too low. We put this up. This is what I think is happening in this track is that your voicing is maybe a little too low. You see what I mean? Like when you get lower in the register, it's like a bass player. A bass player can't really play complicated chords because what we're hearing when we okay, you get what I mean. Okay, that's good. So what we're hearing when we play these two notes together is a beat frequency, and it's the difference between the two notes. And because the two notes are low frequency, because it's a logarithmic scale of you know, like when you go up octaves, what happens is, in fact, we could do the math. Let's do it this way. Let's pull up the fuckboy haircut simulator. Notes hertz. So let's do an example. This is like getting a virus on your computer speed run live. Okay, here's is this a good example? Oh, this is weird. The frequency goes from low to high. Okay, hold on. Let's pick a different one. This one, I've used this. Sure, we'll use this one. Here we go. This is really hard to look at, but whatever. Let's do this as an example. Let's put this over where you guys can see it, and this is over here. Oh shit. Okay, so we got a D sharp and an F sharp, and it's D sharp 3. So let's find D sharp. Okay, let's not do sharps. There, let's do D and F. And then, oops, if I push the right button. So D3 is 146. So let's do the beat frequency between D3. Why did I pick the hardest one? 146 and 174. Let's just forget about the decimals. 146 and 174. So pull up the old calculator. 176 minus, what was it? Sorry, 174 minus 146, right? 174, which is F. This is the hardest thing to look at. D3, 100. Yes, okay. So the beat frequency, oh my God, 174 minus 146, 28 hertz. That's really low. Excuse me. Now, if we play those same chords together, and that's the frequency, the beat frequency that's being generated by those two different notes being played at the same time. So we are also hearing 28 hertz as well as 146 and 174. Now let's put it up an octave to D4 and F4. 293. Well, actually, we're going to have to do it the other way. F4 is 349 minus D4, 293. 53. So now it's twice, obviously. So the problem with playing these notes too low is that the beat frequency, the third frequency that's brought in, and this is ignoring all the harmonics of whatever waveform you're using. If you were just talking about straight up sine waves, you're hearing two frequencies. You're hearing this frequency, you're hearing this frequency, and then you're hearing the difference between the two. That sounds like shit. That sounds like shit. That sounds like a minor third. Anyway, that's a really long way to say your voicing is too low. And it's not necessarily just a matter of shifting the whole chord up or down. It's octaves can go really well. You can go all the way up and down with the octaves. Fifths, so plus 7 semitones, work quite well because they divide nicely into, it's basically, oh God, it's 1.5 times the frequency, blah, blah, blah. Why am I being so mathematical? But when you get into like minor thirds, major thirds, and all the other parts that make up a chord, those notes typically can't be played very low in the register. So that like sawtooth thing, if you just shifted it up an octave, it might sound better, but you might just go and pick certain notes and try playing, like switching the chord around, just the way that the notes are, the voice, we call it the voicing. Maybe switch the voicing around to get some of the density out of the bottom of the chord and up higher. Like musically, I like it. It's strong musically. It's just the voicing and all the low notes adding up together is just creating kind of this density in the bottom end that doesn't feel good. It feels dissonant. It feels rumbly because of that 28 hertz versus the 53 hertz that I showed you with the calculator. Anyway, another thing is the drum. The reverb and the drums are pretty well. There's a lot of messiness in the bottom end here. There's a lot of rumbling. Like if we go and we turn on Ozone and undo all this shit, and don't worry, all this was off while we were just listening. I just had it bypassed. Turn all this off. Turn that and that. Okay, and that and that. Okay, and that's that and that's fine. Okay, so if we just listen to the bottom end. Uh-oh. Why? Oh, it's not on. It's very rumbly. There's not like da da. There's not the sub bass is not cutting through. That command doesn't work. I'm not fancy enough for those commands to work. You got to go on my Discord by following the link that's at the bottom of the screen. And I do it every Friday, and we're all filled up for this week. But you can submit for next week, and we'll listen to it next week. Anyway, back to this. So when you have like a lot of reverb, like you've got this big kick drum, and I can't really tell, but it almost sounds like it has a bunch of reverb on it. It almost sounds like a synth wave in a sense. Here as well, like these notes, these melodic notes are getting a little low in the register. I think taking that synth that kind of sounds like a brass, I would put that up an octave. Yeah, the challenging thing with this is you don't want to lose the bombastic feel of the drums, but when you have these big shut the fuck up, Raham, that doesn't work. When you have those big kick drums with a bunch of rumbly reverb and stuff, and then you also have a sub bass trying to play notes, they don't jive together very well. So what I would do is I would forget about the top end of this track and just focus in on the elements that add to your sub range. So like your kick drum, your sub bass, anything else, and make sure that you figure out there's strategic ways to kind of carve out spots for each of these elements. Maybe if you're adding big reverb to the kick drum, you do it in ascend and then you high pass that reverb, so you get kind of like you get like an octave up of the kick drum rumbling, but you don't have the very bottom end, and that leaves room for the sub bass to fill out with a nice tone, but then you still get the feel of the reverb on the kick drum. You've just high passed it in a way that makes room for the sub bass. But to me, the biggest issue with this mix right now is that there's just a lot of mess in like the bottom end of the track. Also, what's going on with this? Is this do we have to do a bitrate shaming? Hold on one sec. Please stand by while I decide whether I shame you for your bitrate in your render. Nope, that's weird. Although, this is strange because why is it cut so steeply at 15 kilohertz? What's that all about? It was a wave exported to MP3. Huh. I don't know. I don't know what's causing this, but to me, it seems like a render issue or an encoder issue. It's not going to change my notes, but it might. Brick wall EQ. Well, why? My question is why. It definitely looks like a brick wall EQ at 15 kilohertz, but why brick wall it at all? I never brick wall it. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason. I'm not saying there isn't a reason, but I'm just asking you why. And if you can't answer me why, then you shouldn't do it. That's my opinion, is that if you don't necessarily know why you're doing something, especially something as drastic as a brick wall EQ on your master, then you probably shouldn't do it, because you're following like something that somebody said one time. I don't know why you would. It's just cutting off the frequencies that the human ear can't hear. I just let it rock, man. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do a hard cut, even though we can't hear past 15K. Well, some of us can, but what you don't necessarily realize is the side effects of the brick wall. Something that has such a steep cutoff, that's not natural. There's nothing in nature that has such a steep cutoff. They have gentle roll-offs. Something that steep can be fucking with the phase relation and can be fucking with some of the stuff that's below that, because that's a very unnatural. It's the marvels of modern technology that we're able to have minus 60 dB per octave. In nature, we're talking minus 3 dB per octave, you know? And you can, and obviously some things are stronger than that, but like you don't get roll-offs that steep. So I wouldn't do that. It's just, unless you're like, well, the human ear can't hear above that, and if I bring it in, then it's interfering with something else, or like, but just because we can't hear much above 15 kilohertz doesn't mean that you should just slap a brick wall EQ on it. That's my opinion, and I would encourage you to do a bit more research at the very least. I just don't like when people do kind of rules of thumbs and for below 100. Again, now I'm giving you a rule of thumb to never do it. I'm not saying to never do it. I'm just saying that if it's something as drastic as a hard cut on your master bus, you better have a very good understanding of what is happening and what kind of side effects you may be doing. I do very steep high passes on vocals all the time. I'm not saying don't do that, Katia. I do it all the time, and I think it works out quite well. I use my ears more than just, like, oh, put a high pass at 100 hertz or whatever. I kind of move it around till it sounds right. But anyway, my point is just to not do any rules of thumbs, to try to understand what you're doing. Now, if you're doing stuff to individual tracks, it's not the end of the world as long as it sounds good. But it gets a little iffy when you start doing stuff on your master bus because who knows what you're doing, and now you're affecting the whole song and the way it's hitting my speakers. So now all of a sudden, one small change could be affecting things over the whole track as opposed to, oh, the EQs or the EQ on my voice is a little fucky in the bottom end. 96. I don't think there's anything wrong with that on your vocals. It's just, it's the master bus stuff that scares me. Anyway, I hope that some of that was helpful. I just kind of brain vomited all over everything. All right, let's check out the last one of the day. It's called The Remix. And I don't know what the remix is of. I know that Stink put in the original track, but I'm not going to listen to the original track. I'm going to listen to the remix. Let me make sure that this is bypass. There we go. This sounds like Michael Jackson. I can't remember which song. It's not Thriller, is it? Okay, what is going on with the drums? Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Uh-oh. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, God, I hate being allergic to everything. So, the drums have no bottom end. It almost sounds like we're only hearing the resulting sidechain. God, I just sneezed like 100 times. Yeah, there's something going on with the side chaining here. It almost sounds like, it sounds like your drums are also being side chained by your drums. Like, is that what's happening? Maybe are you also side chaining the drums which are generating the side chain? I need to fix the side chain. Yeah, there's something. It's basically like wherever the drum is about to hit, there's nothing there. So I think what's happening is this maybe. This is my guess. Oh, fuck. That's cool. My guess is that you have your drums. So this is drums. Whatever, drums, and they're supposed to be going into the side chain of the compressor, right? And then your side chained elements, let's do, this is the, or I'll do it, we'll do a circle for the compressor, because why not? It's an ellipses, but whatever. This is compressor. This is, say, bass. We'll just say bass. So what should be happening is, whoopsies, there we go, and there we go. Then this goes, we'll say this goes to the, this is very simplified, but whatever. We'll say this goes master. So what should be happening is the drums should be going into the side chain, but they should also be going into the master bus. And what it sounds like you're doing is maybe you're side chaining the drums by themselves. Like this. This is what it sounds like to me. You're going into the side chain, but you're also going into the input of the compressor. Sorry, the chat's kind of in the way. And there's really no reason why this has to be a long distance master. So there. This is what it sounds like to me. So make sure that this isn't going, that your drums the drums that are triggering the side chain, they shouldn't also be going through the compressor. They should be bypassing the compressor and going out. So we hear them unaffected by the compressor. At least look into it. If that's not the case, I don't know what else is going on, but this sounds really cool, except for the fact that the side chain is side chaining itself by the sounds of things. Yeah, I'd look into that, man, because this is like, it's pretty much, it just sounds broken right now. You can see where there should be drums. There is nothing. That's just kind of empty space anytime the drum's supposed to hit. Okay, look into that and let me know if you have any questions. Let's check out, I guess, what did Kat, where are you? Where'd you say the visuals were? You said you posted visuals somewhere. I don't see them. Let me know and I'll look. Or did you send them to me? How do I scroll up in the chat? I'm sure I can somehow. Kat, where are you at? Where's the visuals you want me to look at? See what I did? I rammed it all. Maybe production feedback? Anyone? Cat? Anyone? Cat? Well, whatever. I guess we'll check them out. I'll send it. I'll look at it. I think I have a... Do I not have a channel in here? That is like visual art forum. Nope. Okay, where is Cat Attack? Speak. Art to inspire. That's what I was originally looking for. Might be DMs. There's nothing else to search. Yeah. Okay. Well, I would have looked at it, but I don't know where it is, so I can't look at it if I don't know where it is, because that's how that works. Okay, get off of my screen, Discord. Thank you. All right, guys, that's it for today. Here I am. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I love you all, and good job. Keep working at it, and I will keep listening to it, and together we will take over the world one drum beat at a time. Okay, you guys have a great weekend. Bye. Fuck you, Raham.